Oh, welcome back. Mitchell Artist is with us. And we're starting to rewire, but let's just show you this. I've never seen this before, and it's not clickbait. He's never seen it before, I've never seen it before, you've never seen it before. If you have, let us know. Come look at this. Look at this, all protected. I'd like to say that myself and Mitch have done all this. We haven't. The customer's done it. So, with Doncaster cables, you know I like the Earthshore. You know I like the nice red dyed cable for the smoke alarms. Normal twin. Have you ever seen this? We've got two bright green. We've got it looks like a 4mm or a 6mm, but we can't tell. But it says made in England on it, right there. We've got another green one and we've got a blue one, and they are currently live. That one looks like it's the cooker. Not sure on this one's obviously lighting, and that one is upstairs sockets. Mitch, have you ever seen that before?
No, and I'm old.
That's right. You cut him, dust falls out.
PTH.
PTH. Anyone ever is domestic, unless this isn't domestic, but it's twin, let us know below, but we're pulling it all out in a little bit and we'll see where it runs. We've just had a glance in the fuse board, and the cooker one, the green, is all the way to the board, but it's stripped back enough where at a glance you can't tell. But starting upstairs, marking out, we've got the chasers, we've got the bits, the carpets have been pulled up all ready for us, so and the lights have already been rewired, so we're not doing that. And we just found this under the floor. Are you coming home with me? You guys know the drill. Ansel, my high flex gloves, these bad boys. You've seen me wearing them for absolute years. So I've got a new box turning up very soon. These are the ones which I've said before, which I love when I do the rewires, is these will just come out of the wash. Nice and fresh, nice and clean, haven't shrunk. I can still use my phone with it, which is one of the key things for someone like me that goes on their phone quite a lot. And protect the old fingernails, the old skin. There'll be links all down below for the Ansel ones. These are the high flex. I normally have size 11 because I've got big hands. These are size 10. Nice and grippy. But first things first, you know what I'm like. I know Mitch has pre-warned me, said, do you, but don't do you. As in, try and be as neat and meticulous, that's a good word, write that down, as I can, without going over the top too much. I'll try. But bag ready. He's just started to drill in the other room, so I've just gone and thrown a mat in to put underneath to collect the dust. We clean and tidy as we go. There's less work to do at the end of the day. I've got the laser sat on the radiator just below you. Socket heights, we're doing 450 to the top. There's quite a few. It's one of them ones where I would sort of look at this as you come in and you go, it doesn't need a rewire. There's plenty of sockets already in the room, in the wrong place. So what we can do as we're told. I'm not going to use the chaser upstairs. I'm trying to create the least amount of mess as possible. Dust, chasing, bonding. I've got a bag of bonding at home, which I'm going to bring tomorrow. Just do the chasings down up here so we can get the socket fronts on. Mitch seems to think we can do this in 2 days. There's 3 days booked in for it. But without the lighting, it should be a bit easier. Shut up, Nick. Let's get on. So to be completely honest, you guys have turned around and seen me do this. Do pencil marks, do this, do that on the walls for as long as possible on the amount of rewires I've done. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen this before, go back a couple of videos. I do this all the time. We draw around, we drill, we stitch drill it, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to try and focus on this video. I'll get all this done, because as soon as I start doing this, Mitch is doing that. It's going to be really noisy. I'll jump back in a little bit. When we jump under the floors, we can have a look at that cable, pull it out, see what it's all about. It's 2 days later. You know when I said I'll put back in a bit, I'll do some stuff because you don't want to see it. Now we're at the stage. So it's currently 2:45. On day 3, this morning I had my NAPIT assessment, so I wasn't here for that. We've been busy, we've got sockets in, we've got data in, we've got CCTV in, but I'm at the stage now where the power is turned off downstairs. I can start cutting some stuff. The majority of the cable, the way Mitch has done it, because we're trying to do this in 3 days, is a lot of the cable staying in, all the old stuff, which is, I like pulling it out because I'm just weird and I like doing it. But Mitch is like, no, wasting time, completely agree. But I've asked him nicely. We've left a few boards up so I can pull some stuff out. So I'm not wasting too much time now. I've got some blue here and I've got some grey, which has got more colours in that we've never seen before. I'm just going to pull these ones out. One was this is the ring. This green one here was the old boiler circuit, and the thicker one, the 6mm or 4mm, we're not quite sure, that's the cooker. So they're all turned off. I can cut these out. I'll pull this out of this run, so I've got some stuff, and a little bit later on in the video when I'm at home, I can have a look through this, have a look through that. And I actually, because speaking to the neighbour, I know exactly what these cables are, where they're from, and why they're like this. But they'll be right at the end of the video, so if you still know, let me know. I really like these coloured cables. I think everyone, speak to Doncaster, start dyeing them. I'll have the sockets a certain colour, lighting the other, cookers the other, EV's the other, oh fabulous. Let's go to town. So I've just cut this socket off here, but this isn't us. It's old cable. And then the new sockets that are within this room. So that one, the one over there, so obviously these are our ones that go round the newer cables. Obviously I am having this little pot of gold, but someone's adapted to it, installed these sockets a while ago off this existing cable. And I presume, I can only presume, that it was all tested correctly and it was fine. Which is very similar to the old school with a normal twin that we see, but being blue. That felt like ages ago, because it was. I've kept this safe. We've got the blue, we've got the grey, and we've got the green cable. The grey cable is even different. It's even more different. Yeah, okay, than the other stuff we pulled out. But before we get to this, I've done a bit more research so I can share the information with you, what it is, where it comes from. I can't tell you why it's the colour it is. I can only presume it's because that's the way it was manufactured. I would like to say to identify the different sizes, but that's not the case. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to show the differences between this cable, which I don't know how old it is, compared to the newer stuff that I use. So at the beginning of the video, I obviously said about the Doncaster stuff I get so many questions. When people see me installing this for smoke alarms, and people presume from the videos, if they can't see that it's flat twin, that's FB200, but it's not. This is just normal twin and earth, 1mm, or the 3 core which I've got down there, with Doncaster just dye red, just to identify that it's a smoke alarm circuit. I mean, nothing stopping you from using this as a lighting circuit in red, but that's your choice. So I've just Googled this one. So this has exactly the same properties as normal PVC twin and earth cable, but it's in red because it says on it the ECA. So the ECA fire rating under the Construction Product Regulation, CPR, indicates a basic fire performance typical of standard PVC cable. So that's what this is. But it does come in LSF if you want it. Next, which you've seen me shout about and talk about a million times, is the Doncaster Earthshore cable. This is, hang on, Kevin's just arrived. Hi Kevin. Okay. Back to it. Earthshore, this is the 1mm. It comes in 1mm twin, 1mm 3 core, 1.5 twin, 1.5 3 core, 2.5, and to my knowledge, that 6mm is on its way. The difference is the CPC Earth comes pre-sleeved, and the non-scientific way that Doncaster, to my knowledge, that they tested it, it's about 15% quicker throughout jobs with having it pre-sleeved, because obviously it obviously stops you faffing around with earth sleeving, massive main competitor to my idea of sleeve it with velocity. But when you come to rewires, this is perfect for me. This is what I've got literally throughout the property. But when you come into board changes, additional sockets, or working in older property with old wiring, you've got your sleeving. Next is the EV Ultra, which has your normal 3 core. It does have a, obviously snipped off for a reason. And it's got your data cable in it. This can either be just a pair, or this one has a Cat5 within it. This allows you to run data alongside, obviously, Ultra EV, but we actually have used this a few times for summer houses where we want to take internet out, hardwire it, make it faster. But the only difference with this cable is there's no British standard yet, which means you are actually departing from regulations when you install it. So you need to make sure you note that down on the installation on the certificate. So the responsibility falls on the installer. So you need to note that down, that you're happy with the cable and it's fit for purpose within it. It's obviously going to come out that this will become a British standard, but as of for now, the responsibility relies on you to make sure you put on the certificates. But this comes in various amount of sizes, but I normally go for the EVs, is 6mm 3 core with a Cat5 cable within. Next is the Doncaster Ultra PV cable, obviously for PV. So I have the dual string ones, which has the 4 cables in it. And the thing I didn't know about this until I got this, which sounds daft, but the cables are identified. So the 2 red ones will have a 1 and a 2, and one of, and that one. So you can identify the pairs coming down to what you want. Eagle eye viewers will see that I have some stuff that's been installed, which you'll see in future videos. But I got to use this throughout my property firsthand. This is just the normal, is it HO7? I think, but it does come in armoured. Another cool thing that I've been learning out with the solar stuff, it comes pre-labelled that it becomes live in sunny conditions. I'm pretty sure that's what it says, hang on. You know how neat I am with wanting to run stuff, and to have dual strings within an enclosure rather than running, which most people do when they're running their strings down on a solar install, after the fact. It's not a new build. It's normally 20mm black conduit or 25mm down the outside of someone's house. But with this, quicker installation, we can use some linear clips on it, get it nice and neat, straight into the isolators. Right, so what you've all been waiting for, this green, blue and grey cable, which is twin and earth. And on the outside of it, I don't think you guys will be able to see, it says C.A.P Ltd, so obviously the company that made it, P.T.H/PVC, which is on the side. So also it says BS1557 written on the cable. So as much as I'd like to say that it's color coordinated for cable conductor size, not the case. So this 6mm was doing the cooker. This green one was doing nothing, but it would have done the lights because someone had already rewired the lights. This blue one, 2.5, was doing majority of the sockets and to the boiler. And then this one, this was the two-way lighting. Obviously normally it's just missing the earth from it, but it's the colours. It's the colours. It's not a British standard colour. So why was that in? And these are all tinned copper, which is standard for what it was back in the day, where there was a bit of a shortage of copper, and it's still, I think it's 98 or 99% copper still, but it's tinned coated on the top. So if you were to scratch this off, you would see some copper. Like today's standard cable is like 100% copper. To my knowledge, don't sue me, don't quote me on that. But this back in the day would be like 98, 99 with a tiny bit of tin on top, just to save a couple of pence, I think. Unless you know the answer to that, let me know. So the backstory on this, and the only reason we know what it is, I say we, myself and Mitch, is when we were doing the outside lights, guy next door was mowing the grass. He goes, what are you doing? Said, doing a rewire. And he was like, oh, I've just retired. I was a spark as well. I was like, oh, wicked. Were you the cool spark, like domestic, or were you know, commercial, industrial? You didn't do a lot. And he was like, oh no, I did a bit of both. And I was like, oh, you know, we've come across this really weird coloured cable. And he went, oh right, yeah, that's from this company. And I was like, say again, how do you know this? So where we were working was in Cannock. And if anyone that watches this that live in Cannock, I'm really sorry. So back in the day with all the mining, the coal board built all the houses in the estate that we were working on, and they also manufactured their own cable. And their own cable, for some reason, they decided to make it green, blue and grey, and not to British standard coloured wise. The coal boards built their own houses, they made their own materials, they supplied it all, they put it in, and he had the same thing when he took it out, and he was telling us all about it, and it genuinely was really interesting. But it is the first time I've ever seen this, and Cannock for me is literally 15 minutes up the road. Mitch has never seen it, which is fair enough, because he's from Dudley or something like that. Warsaw? They both sound the same. But yeah, this is where this came from, and I just thought it was really interesting. Like, I've never seen anything like that so close to home. It's like the first time I ever went to a new build and found SplitCon. And I was one of them newbies on Facebook forums, and I was like, has anybody seen this cable before? And you can imagine the stick I got back in the day. I was like, okay, never mind, I'll never ever put anything online ever again. And then I did YouTube. That worked well for me. But to round it all off, if you've seen this before or you've seen anything like it before, please let me know, or you have anything that's different to this that you want to show off on the channel. But the next thing I genuinely would like to see, because of the red twin and earth that Doncaster do, I would like them or someone to follow suit and colour coordinate 1mm, 1.5, 2.5, 4mm, 6mm, 10mm, 16mm into colour variations where, you know, you pick a floorboard up and you can go, oh, I suppose, I'm just thinking out loud, like if you were to get, oh, I can see that there is the lighting circuit, because it's a lovely yellow colour, and you know, this is what I need to use. Like an upstairs lighting circuit could be a different colour to downstairs. But there's something to say that someone, either a DIYer or a builder or just a spark that's been lazy, goes, oh, I'm going to wire this socket circuit or just this spur in this 1.5mm. Yeah, I need to think about this more. Thank you very much for watching. Link down in the description for Amsell. It's 20% off until the end of May. Love you, bye.